Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Nurul Ain Sufia binti Muhammad Azhar. My matrix number 1213225. Now, I would like to share about my selected theory, which is social identity theory. In this theory, it has 7 sub-content that I will share to everyone, excluding the table content, which is 403, introducing myself and main ideas. 04, summarize the theory, authors and approaches. 405, evaluate the theory. 06, identity traits. 07, where the theory is at today. 408, how the theory can be improved. And lastly, 409, as a conclusion. Let's talk about the theory. Social identity theory, which is known as SIT, was developed by Henry Tedfeld in 1970s and John Turner in 1980s. It says that between groups is based on the need for self-esteem and happens even when there is no conflict over resources. Social categorization is when you see yourself as part of a group which becomes your in-group. Tedfeld thinks your self-esteem is linked to how successful your in-group is. Social identification is when you take on the attitudes, behaviors, and values of your in-group, while social comparison is when you see your in-group as better than the out-groups you meet. Besides, there is a evaluate of the theory. Social identity theory (SIT) is supported by Tedfeld's minimal group studies, which showed how boys will discriminate about outgroups even when social identity is based on something as irrelevant to them as modern art. However, these studies are artificial because the boys had to assign points from book of matrices to strangers, which is not like real-life racism or sexism, which normally involve treating actual people badly. On the other hand, Tedfeld said if the boys were prepared to discriminate against anonymous boys on over pennies on the basis of difference in art, how much more likely they would be to discriminate when there are important things at stake. Then, personality is a variable SIT does not take into account. Adorno suggests that authoritarian personalities are much more likely to discriminate because of their self-esteem is more strongly linked to their social identity. For identity trait, according to social identity theory, group members may experience different kinds of identity traits. Group status trait occurs when the perceived competence of the group is devalued. Group members may also experience various forms of social identity traits, one of which takes place when the moral behavior of their groups is called into question. Then, the latter form of trait is sometimes experienced even by group members who can in no way be held personally accountable for their group's behavior, as when citizens of a certain country may feel guilt or shame for crimes committed by their country long before they were born. Group members can also experience social identity trait when they think that their group is not sufficiently acknowledged as a separate entity with unique characteristics. As example, group distinctiveness trait is experienced when different groups of people are included in larger, more inclusive groups, nations, or organizations, such as members of linguistic minorities who strive for political autonomy or workers in a small company that is taken over in an organizational merger. So, where the theory is at today? The theory enables one to develop and help individuals gain a sense of their self-identity and self-expression. As example, person might consider to be a part of their social identity that are ethnicity, gender, and religion. One way that one defines their identity is by a person's experiences or the interactions that they have with the people that they interact with. Next, how the theory can be improved. From advantages side, firstly, explains group philanthropy. The theory demonstrates why people empathize with and therefore want to help people like them. Secondly, explains in-group bias. The theory can explain why people prefer people who look or act like them. From disadvantages side, firstly, poor predictive power. It explains events but does not really make predictions about the future. Brown 2000. Secondly, fails to explain group harmony. In a liberal multicultural world order, there is a lot of group harmony that is not explained by this theory. As a conclusion, social identity theory (SIT) suggests that intergroup conflict comes from an irrational side of human nature that will always be with us. It is depressing to think that even if we can abolish hunger and poverty, prejudice will still exist so long as there are groups. That's all from me. Thank you.